take Uncle Jesse, the demon from Kiss, and a woman who almost changed her name to Vagina. This is Stinker Madness.
Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. We got the Stinker Madness.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hi, Jackie. Hi, Sam.
Hi.
We just did Never Too Young to Die, starring John Stamos, Gene Simmons, and Vanity, and anybody else? George Lazenby, and
Robert Englund.
Robert Englund, yeah, that's right. We did get to have the Robert Englund sighting. I thought it was fun.
And Brains Come Richmond had quite a few lines.
Oh, yeah, he did. That's true. That's true. I thought it was a good time. I really enjoyed it, actually. I think it's borderline honorable mention for my Hall of Fame.
I really like Gene Simmons.
Gene Simmons beats the crap out of Mick Jagger in acting.
Yeah.
Beats the crap out of him.
Every time I watch this, I just feel like he's doing a little too good.
What do you mean?
Just doing too good.
It's just he's too awesome, or
well,
like you need to dial down a month.
No, his
It's like he likes being that character
dressing
a lot.
dressing up like a lady and
having
acting
boobs.
super gay is.
I think he had a good time.
Yeah,
I think he had a good time with it.
Yeah, because I gotta say, like, I had a hard time recognizing him at first because...
You didn't recognize him as the
Well, here's the deal, is that I have only seen him, like, without his Kiss makeup on, as an old man. And so, I was like, I think that's Gene Simmons.
What's that crappy fucking Kiss album where they take off the makeup? It was from the 80s, and everybody got all pissed off. It was like when Metallica cut their hair.
Is it the one that has Beth on it?
No, Beth is early. It's like, it's not shouted out loud, but it's got another, kick it up! Or lick it up, that's what it is. That album. That was the first time I ever saw Gene Simmons without his makeup on. I was like, good Jesus Christ! Oh!
Yeah, I really think that the makeup helps him out. Like,
yeah, he wants to
because I was like, well, that man lady is way too pretty to be Gene Simmons. And then I was like, nope, that's him. Like, the transvestites walked in, put some makeup on him, and then he looked halfway decent. I was like, wow, because he's an ugly fucking man.
He is an ugly fucking man. I did like that they weren't above exploiting the tongue a couple of times. Get that out a couple of times, because he tongue rapes Vanity, obviously, and then he tongue rapes another lady at his solo performance, which I guess wasn't really tongue rape, because she seemed like she was into it. At his solo stage performance, yeah.
Wearing Linda Carter's costume.
Oh, was that the costume?
That's the Linda Carter costume.
Yes, great, yeah.
My God.
His song was really fucking stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Here's him talking.
Yeah!
Something, yeah!
I'm a man, and I'm a woman, and you like it. Yeah!
And if you don't believe me, I'll let you touch it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah! Pretty good.
To me, Gene Simmons made the entire movie.
Oh, absolutely. I really like Gene Simmons in this movie. I love the fact that he addresses all his followers. Like, the very first line of the movie is, "Hello, turd balls!" And they're like, "Woo, yeah! Shit stains! Yeah! Fuck nuggets! Ow!
I think he says turds about 40 times in the movie.
He does.
He calls them turds over and over again.
You turds. I like that also his minions have to have... Like, why...
They're all punks.
I almost thought that they were, I thought that there was going to be a time-traveling element, or that it was post-apocalyptic in this movie, because they're all dressed like they're Mad Max guys. And they all have really bad haircuts.
And color.
Like weed-whacked haircuts. Like, not haircuts at all. Just stick the hair in the blender and see what happens.
This is really like somebody... couldn't decide whether they wanted to regurgitate Mad Max or Footloose.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we can do both. We can do both. And they did.
Yeah, they did a bit. And it's kind of a musical at the same time. So it's
because the opening song, you get to hear that song throughout the entire goddamn movie.
Yeah, Stargrove.
Oh, I should have looked up the lyrics to Stargrove, because there were some real bad lyrics in that song. And then you got Gene Simmons' song, and then you got the shitty band before Gene Simmons at the motorcycle bar. Those guys were terrible.
The girl kiss.
Yeah.
that's what it kind of
It
looked
kind
like.
of did look like that a bit. You couldn't really tell what was going on there, but I liked how they just kind of strutted out. Like they're at the motorcycle bar, and madness is happening everywhere. People are just getting punched in the face. Motorcycles are riding through it.
You get a motorcycle that has a horse head
And a
attached
tail.
to the handlebars, right up to the bar, and she gives him a drink and some oil.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice to lube up.
Yeah.
The pony bikes were the best because some of them even had tails on them, like off the back seat.
Right.
And I was like, wow, you know what? As a little kid, if I would have seen this movie, I would have been all about those horse bikes.
Well, the bar's out of control, and then that shitty Lady Kiss band comes on, and they look like they're on heroin because they're not moving around a whole lot. They're just kind of like, here, this is a pretty good time.
And you know what? Speaking of,
Lady heroin or
Later.
Lady Kiss heroin.
yeah, Lady Kiss Heroin. So did anybody notice that Gene Simmons wore high heels? Like,
Yeah, throughout the whole thing, he runs in high heels.
yeah.
Not necessarily
That's what I'm
well,
saying.
but
He's doing too good.
Yeah, it's like he was like booking it across the bridge in these high heels. He wasn't bow-legged or anything. He was just going for shit.
It's
What?
like the scene in Ed Wood, the Tim Burton Ed Wood, when Johnny Depp gets walked into dressed up as a woman
Mhm.
prior to making Glenn or Glenda or whatever, and is it not a reasonable thing to wear? That like when approached Gene Simmons for the role of this, he was already like dressed up like that.
oh, we were just going to have you play the demon from Kiss, but instead, we will run with what you're wearing.
What you got going on
you
right
got,
now?
You got
Sure.
the gig.
Why
you got
not?
the gig.
And do you think that Gene Simmons got to pick his own stunt boobs?
It's a hell of a question. You know, I
don't know.
I guess you'd kind of have to choose not busty boobs, because obviously he doesn't have huge boobs throughout the movie. But it was kind of like, well,
Stunt boobs!
got an 18-year-old to do those boobs, huh? It's a bummer. But Vanity got him out. That was...
And it's the boob countdown is a long one.
Yeah,
She's in the
I
movie
would
for quite a while. It's like her
say-
fifth or sixth scene.
it's probably about 60 minutes.
Yeah, it's most of the way through the movie.
Most of the way. Which is a great scene, but we'll get to that. So movie starts out, Gene Simmons comes out, calls them turd balls, throws a big shindig at his like dungeon lair, outdoor castle dungeon lair thing that nobody notices in California. I think this is supposed to take place in California.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
they're at the
in
Hoover Dam at the
California.
end.
That's
So-
not the Hoover Dam.
That's not the Hoover Dam?
No, the Hoover Dam's like 8 times that says. I have no idea what dam that is.
Damn it. He then reveals the whole plot of what he's trying to do, which is poison the water of someplace.
Well, Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, sure. And in order to do it, he needs a disc. Okay. So he...
If somebody has stolen this disc.
Well, did they steal it, or did he just not have it?
They stole it.
From who?
From him. That lady that they had that they were going to burn, that he fingered her instead.
Which
So why
is-
would Steve...
we are to assume that that's actually John Stamos' mom in the movie because she's wearing the Stargrove.
Oh,
pendant.
yeah, she has the Stargrove pendant. That's true. Huh.
Earring, because he rips it out.
So maybe... So you're saying that Gene Simmons had the disc originally. It's his disc.
Well, he's Carruthers the whole time too. So
The ginger in the movie.
Right. Huh. Okay, well, I guess...
there's a lot of things.
I
that
guess
are-
we'll run with it was Gene Simmons' disc to begin with, and then the Stargrove stole it to protect the world, and now Gene Simmons wants to get it back, and so he sends out his minions to get it, and...
So I don't understand why that one guy's at the fucking dam. The dad, Stargrove, is at the dam. Like, what was he doing there?
Yeah, I don't know what their mission was, because they didn't complete their mission. We never found out what that was. It got
he was,
messed up
he was
by
getting
the
the
minions.
disc.
At the dam?
He already had it, dude.
Yeah, but they were escaping
Oh, he's escaping with the disc.
with the disc.
He's kifed the disc,
Yeah.
escaping through a dam
But that's after we get our introduction to the hero,
to Stargrove,
which is the Stargrove theme song
while
with
he's doing gymnastics.
doing gymnastics on a trampoline.
Right. Well, John Stamos is on a trampoline. Some other guy is doing gymnastics. Posing as John Stamos.
And then there's some other gymnastics guys, and then there's a couple of wrestlers that just hang out at gymnastics practice in their singlets
right.
and try to, act like they're more manly than the gymnastics team.
Right. So Stargrove is a pussy. He's a big pussy at the beginning of this movie because he gets beat up and, well, not necessarily beat up, but shoved around a bit by the gymnastics guys.
The wrestling guys, he gives him the, what's that on your singlet? Whoop!
Yeah,
And
got
then
your nose.
And then he leaves. And then after that,
We
for
find
more
out
heroic, nature is he's then cheating on a test.
Yes.
Right, with his nerdy science roommate.
The Seiko Google Watch is what I've got. You can put in some numbers, and your roommate will be able to look through a book and then text you back the numbers on a giant keypad.
I like there was only 4 buttons on the watch,
Yeah.
so I don't know how he was getting anything done with that thing.
Beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, boop. Yeah, so he's cheating in college, at an undisclosed college.
You know what? It's not.
Hmm.
That's a boarding high school.
Oh, so he wasn't in college?
No, he's in high school.
So
But he's
Vanity's
got
a
roommates?
date raper? No,
they're in it's a boarding school. So they're in a dormitory, because if you go to like a boarding school, you have to live
Why
there.
can't they be in
But
college?
wait, that makes Vanity
Yeah,
in
why-
this movie.
Yeah, a statutory rapist.
Yeah.
I think probably at this time, the age of consent 16.
Why
But who's to say
does
that
it
he's
have
not
to
18?
be a boarding? Why can't it be a college?
I just think that it was mentioned
Hmm.
at the beginning that it's,
I would like to find
it's
that
a high
out.
school.
Huh. Well, that's interesting because he's also got Cliff, the super roommate.
And he has a credit card, Sam.
He's got a credit card.
That's after his dad dies.
So then, like, within a day, he's like, dude, I gotta go get myself a credit card. My dad
dad is dead. I now need to have a credit card. Either way,
I thought it was a college.
he's got Cliff, Cliff is like the science whiz nerdy guy that can
Gadget
create
man.
anything that Lance Stargrove may ever need.
Mm-hmm.
But Lance has a problem because his dad's never around.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a mega drag, man. My dad never shows up to my gymnastics.
And he lies about it to somebody because they're gonna have a big school shindig. And he
Yeah, it was like
yeah,
Parents'
my dad's
Day."
gonna come.
Anyway, the banner said parents. Oh, it was called Dunbar. He had Dunbar all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Dunbar. I don't know if that's a college or a high school or if either. But he's got the super dad's bring your parents to gymnastics day going on. And he's all excited about it, looking at his Seiko Google Watch. And his dad does not show up because his dad is blowing up a dam. Sort
Or
of.
escaping.
Escaping the dam.
His dad is dressed up like the Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Yep, that's true.
But he was wearing something before he became dressed up as the Ghostbusters that I don't remember. Like the first time you see Lazenby, he's wearing something else and then he has to strip out of it and get into his Ghostbusters costume. Because the other guys show up and one of them is Gene Simmons. Why didn't Gene Simmons just take the disc right then?
When
He's Cosgrove.
Carruthers, because Lazenby punches him over and runs away. After he shoots Lazenby in the leg twice, and then Lazenby gets the better of him and resumes escaping.
Huh.
And then you don't see Carruthers again until
The end. Ish.
later on.
Yeah.
And then you get... we don't see him again until he shows up to pick up Vanity in the Mercedes.
Well, it seems like Carruthers had a perfect opportunity to complete his mission and he just kind of ran away like a silly bitch.
Well, he got overpowered. And
Yeah,
then,
well.
But then his minions gather up Lazenby and bring him back to the dam, I guess.
Yeah.
And to the inside secret computer area.
Right, but then there's this huge, giant shootout before that. Lazenby's blasting all the minions. Like, a lot of them. Like, a lot of minions die in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
A lot. But then he gets nabbed, can't make it to the gymnastics tournament, and it's Gene Simmons that kills him with the shotgun, right? Shoots him, blows him through the air,
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
cut, like... Oh, it's also Stamos is failing at his gymnastics at the exact same time
Yeah,
his
he
dad's
falls
getting
down
shot
off
and
of
doing
the-
flips.
Off of the bars.
Yeah.
No, off the rings.
So, they have a funeral for George Lazenby, Drew Stargrove. I don't know how they got his body or how they knew he was dead or whatever.
Any of that, yeah.
But he just has a funeral. And because of it, Lance Stargrove, John Stamos, gets a farm out of the deal. And
Yeah.
apparently a credit card. Thought that was interesting. Get a farm. Nobody
I don't know, dude. It was just such a stupid
It wasn't
thing to
really a
have.
farm so much as it was a ranch.
Yeah.
It had like a horse.
There was a horse.
There was a
barn.
And the horse got blown itself up because Vanity blew up the barn.
That's true. I didn't see the horse make it out of there. Well, I like the fact
No, the horse runs out.
Did it?
Yeah, because
Yeah, but the other horses that were in there, they were all dead.
I didn't
Yeah, if
see
you're to
any other
infer that there is
horses.
other horses in their little stables, then they would have been exploded as well.
But, no, whatever the horse is, she's like, such and such, fly, and then he runs over the dude.
It was like a silly...
And then
A
out.
pony she named Wildfire busted down his stall. In fire he was lost.
Well, you don't win because I already started out with Stargrove, Stargrove, Stargrove. Yeah, so he shows up at the barn or the farm to check it out. Like, hey, I got a farm, better go check it out. Borrows Cliff's
No,
bike.
he has his own bike at that point.
Oh, so he takes his own bike and he shows up at the farm, and Vanity's there riding around on ponies. Like, hey, lady, what the hell are you doing here? So she goes into the barn, gets into a shootout through a revolving gun door, which is awesome. And with the minions are there, but
then they overpower her and they rip her shirt off.
Right, they rip her shirt off. I thought that was going to be. I was like, dude, Sam, this is not long time. This is going to be 2 minutes of boobs. Nope, not boobs. They rip her shirt a bit, and then she goes all fucking kung fu on them, and Chuck Norris style, and blows the shit out of all of them. Stuffs the one guy's head in dog or horse shit, and says, "Eat shit." I thought that was a great line. Then he shows up.
She mostly had things under control.
He kind of was not there to help, but still, they get away. I can't remember how they get away from the bad guys. The bad guys.
So the bad guys get. So what happens is that.
Oh, she shoots the one guy.
She shoots one of them and accidentally shoots open some
glue.
It
looked like glue,
varnish, or either way, it catches the hay on fire. And the next shot is the hay's on fire, and next to the hay is a box of grenades. And it's
naturally,
and it's only it's a box of grenades just because it says grenades on the side
Very
of it.
clearly.
You don't see any grenades. You just know that it's probably grenades in there because that's what the label says.
I think that's standard farmer rancher practice is to keep the grenades right next to the horses. The grenades keep the foxes out.
Underneath
really nice.
the instantly flammable varnish.
Right, absolutely. You don't want to put that someplace safe. Usually want to have it.
And you usually want to keep a lot of your volatile chemicals in the barn with the horses where they can eat it.
And also your revolving gun door.
And next to the revolving gun door where they can get knocked over.
I like the fact that when the gun door revolves and she goes onto the other side, the side that was not facing us before was filled with guns. And then it rotates and she's got a gun and she's back out shooting everybody. Great. So that explodes, but
well, just in case they brought a knife to a gunfight, then they have an opportunity to get themselves a gun too. While she's in there getting a gun,
got to be a fair fight at all times.
Maybe.
What was the?
Apparently, she's a fucking lazy ass because she didn't put the grenades in there.
Yeah, she could have just had the grenades in there and just been
maybe there's so many grenades in there that they're just like
oversupply of grenades.
Yeah, like,
overstock.
What are we gonna do with these grenades? Oh, just set them there underneath the varnish that explodes.
They were having a grenade sale at Costco.
Yeah, well, when the grenades go on sale, you just got to get as many.
Get them in the bulk pack. I bet you grenades are expensive. So the one guy gets away. The one guy with the out of control hair, the buff guy that gets his face shoved in poo.
He just runs over to a dune buggy and drives off.
What was his name? Did we ever catch his name? They said
something when I don't remember what it was.
It was something silly.
Or something.
Yeah,
weird.
something silly. You know what we forgot to talk about was the bulletproof umbrella.
Oh, yeah.
That thing was cool. It's like Mary Poppins on
that's
crack.
what you think. Like, all these minions are about to attack Lazenby and his buddy that are dressed up like Ghostbusters, and he just, like, opens an umbrella, and they all start laughing, and then he starts shooting the fuck out of them.
Yeah. and
then it ends up the umbrella is bulletproof.
It is bulletproof. Ricochets off of it. I liked that quite a bit. That's an old fun Penguin-esque routine. So
after they
Stargroves has a
blow up the
conversation
barn
with Vanity,
and don't seem to worry about whether or not the barn is going to catch the rest of the farm ranch on fire.
That's not for to be concerned. He's got to figure out what the fuck Vanity's doing there and who the fuck Vanity is. Well, it turns out Vanity is Drew Stargrove's mistress, so that couldn't have been his mom. No, because she was boning him.
No, she completely
They
negates.
never-
No, she says that the opposite. Like he helped her family or whatever. She's like a surrogate child. Because I think they're trying to set up the fact that her and Stamos are about the same age.
Well, sure.
And so she's like a surrogate child. She's not a... Because even like when they first walk into the room, he's like, how come there's no pictures of you over here? And she's like, those are her playthings. Our relationship is professional.
Oh, she does say that. And he goes,
And then every time he says something about it, she dismisses it.
Yeah,
so
I
you
guess
have
it's
to
not
assume
confirmed.
that he's more of a father figure in her
Right,
life.
and then she bites his head off in the car, and she's like, look, he did more for my family than anybody should have done, and blah, blah, blah.
Huh.
Like, really establishing the fact that it's okay that they're gonna bone later in this movie.
Yeah, that she's not boning, or he's not boning his dad's mistress. Yeah. Huh, maybe. Well, it sure seemed at the time I was watching that was going on. So, now he's suspicious of her, and he's got the tracking chewing gum that he sticks underneath the Corvette, the blue C4.
Which is also the bugged chewing gum later.
Dual purpose tracking bug listening device chewing gum. That doesn't seem like it would be yummy. Kind of crunchy. It's got microchips in it.
No. But either way...
Are they like flavor crystals?
She comes out and she's got a very Marvel-esque dress on.
She does. It is a super dress.
Because she's got metal arms and her tits are basically hanging out. I was like, so did you just get done being in a Marvel comic?
Mm-hmm. Like, are you one of the Avengers from the 80s?
And no, she's just going to go out to the nightclub. And
the motorcycle bar.
Not to go, and he goes anyway, and then sticks some gum on her Corvette that's got a bug in it. Or a tracking device. At that
because
point.
he does need to track her later. For sort of a bit. But anyway, so they go to the motorcycle, out of control motorcycle nightclub. That's what I'm calling it. Because they do show the sign of the name of the...
They say what the name of it is,
you
and
can't
then
tell.
you can't see... Like, they mention the name of it once, and then you don't see the sign very well, so you can't
Well, the sign was shittily made. I
it was
couldn't
pretty
read
crappy.
the sign.
That was a bad sign.
It was like Weirdo Bar.
Somebody should have got their
like that.
money back on that sign.
Yeah, but it's, just some weird terrorist motorcycle...
Pony motorcycle.
Pony bar.
Why does she get pissed off and leave? Gene Simmons shows up.
And he's singing.
Doesn't he? No, he sings, and then doesn't he, like, confront them? Like,
No.
So she gets pissed off and leaves again because he once again says something about her screwing his dad.
Oh.
And it's like, that's not the case. So she gets all mad and leaves.
He screwed you, he screwed my mom, he screwed me, and he screws everybody. So she leaves. Well, now he's on to Gene Simmons. And so he goes back and
goes backstage
to
with
the
more
green
of his
room
gum.
With more of his gum. Why is he on to Gene Simmons?
Because Vanity says that's probably who killed your father.
Yeah.
When he was dancing around doing his, I got a wiener and some boobs. Yeah!
Oh my god, that was so perfect, Sam.
His outfit was pretty epic right then, too.
Well, I mean, he's wearing Linda Carter's outfit from one of her TV specials. It's gonna be epic.
It's pretty epic.
That actually, I mean, if there was nothing else good that happened in the movie, just him marching out wearing that one is like, oh my god. But there's so much other things that happen in this movie.
Yeah. So how does she know that Gene Simmons is the guy?
Because of the crusty guy that pretends to be the lawyer that isn't really the lawyer. He's like the head of National Security Bullshit Club. And,
so he's just on people's radars.
Carruthers. Who's, because before she goes to the nightclub, if you recall, Carruthers shows up in the Mercedes and then they go on a ride or whatever.
Right, that's right. I forgot about that.
And he puts her onto his own trail, basically. So then they go to the nightclub. Then she leaves because she's mad. And then John Stamos goes into the dressing room of, what is it? Velvet?
Velvet von Ragnar.
Velvet von Ragnar, the terrorist nightclub singer.
Right.
Hermaphrodite terrorist nightclub singer.
Exactly.
As played by Gene Simmons. And then you have a very long, awkward sequence where John Stamos is trying to get he's pretending to get an autographed picture so that he can plant his gumbug in the room, and then Gene Simmons is all about touching his young sweetness body and things like that.
That had to be an awkward scene to shoot.
I bet every time that they were on screen together, it had to be awkward because Gene Simmons is sexually harassing him.
Yeah, probably.
It's like, whoa, he's doing too good of a job. I'm gonna keep saying that because every time we talk, like, isn't that what he's just doing too good at it? He's doing too good of a job.
Yeah. So he gets the gum in,
and then at that point, the guy that we can't remember his name that's got the really bad hair that's super tough, he rigs Stamos' motorcycle to explode.
Right. Which a big fat guy beats John Stamos up.
Because he is a pussy at the beginning of this movie.
He's a pussy. I don't care what you say. He's a pussy.
After he leaves and he hides behind the dumpster to try to find out information.
Well, he's laying in the fucking trash at first.
Yeah,
and the bike blows up.
With
and
his
he's like,
radio. Oh no! Before that was his radio transmitter, and he's listening. And then Gene Simmons is just like sexying around by himself. And then looking for a bug with his bug transmitter finder device.
Yeah, because everybody's got one of those in their bedroom.
And then he finds it and drops it in the toilet. And then Stamos is like, "Oh, the jig's up, so I'll leave." And then some drunk guy's like,
"That's a nice Kawasaki.
It's my bike now," and he blows himself up.
Yeah, he totally debows it.
Like,
my bike,
John Stamos should die right there. But the only things that saves him is he's a total pussy.
Yeah.
He's laying in the trash as the bike explodes.
Should have been exploded. Instead, he's a total weenus.
And he still should have been exploded because he was like 3 feet away from the bike.
Right, yeah. But why do the people in the bar, like, all of a sudden they're like good citizens? They rush out with a fire extinguisher?
Oh, help that poor man.
They don't want their shit to burn down.
Okay, yeah, it was kind of a divey looking establishment.
Versus the barn that Vanity and John Stamos don't care about. Like, oh, that motherfucker can burn to the ground now that the box of grenades has been exploded.
Yeah, there's nothing left in there.
And then the horse is running to its freedom. Vanity's favorite horse will never see that fucking thing again.
Wildfire, come back!
Like, taken off.
So, now Stamos is down one motorcycle. So he's gone through a bike. That's a bummer.
And then it's like pretty much just next day.
Yeah, meanwall, or
no, it just
later.
cuts to the next day and he goes over to Cliff.
Yeah.
His super scientist dorm mate.
Mm-hmm.
And he
who has now made the fire blaster.
You know, he made the fire blaster the first time you see them.
Yeah, when they get back to the dorm.
And it's called the Flazer.
The Flazer? I thought it was fire blaster.
No, he
fire
said
laser.
It was the Flazer because it had to be equal parts fire and equal parts laser, otherwise it doesn't work.
You can blow up his whole dorm.
1 part bull, 2 parts shit.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect combination. So
he goes in and he's like, "Hey, I need your motorcycle. You're never going to see it again." And he's right.
Yeah, but nothing happens to that bike.
Cliff's like, "Here you go."
It's not like, Cliff could have went out and got the motorcycle because he just fucking
it's
left
just out
it
in the desert. It's
Yeah.
just out in the desert somewhere.
Instead, he charges a brand new one to John Stamos' credit card.
Yeah, some kid gets a free bike. Sweet.
It is my assumption, having seen this a number of times now, that my heart tells me that those terrorists took that bike and made it one of their own pony bikes at some point.
Probably.
No, well, they
Probably.
all
They had
had
to ride past it.
They all had
Yeah.
tough guy bikes, though, not Kawasaki dirt bikes.
Well, you put a horse head on there, spray paint it black. Oh, it's a horse of a
Now
different
suddenly
color.
It works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see the unicorn one
No.
that was in the bar? There
Oh,
was
that's
one
too
that had a
bad.
unicorn horn.
Oh,
it
that's
was,
awesome.
it
That's
was
good.
freaking awesome. I was like, wow, this one has a unicorn. It was like right next to the stage with those heroin chicks that were up there dancing.
I wonder if the thug minions also named their pony bikes.
This is Wildfire.
It can't be Wildfire because somebody else went Wildfire. Like,
Buck.
yeah, like
Turdo number 1.
Number 2.
Yeah.
the black
The green apple splatter.
Yeah.
So he decides to go chase after Vanity,
And also,
who's just driving down the road in a bitchin' Corvette, T-top down. She's having a good time out there in the highways of California.
Yeah, I think she's on Garlock Road, actually.
Huh.
It's a fucking desert anyway.
Yeah, in the middle of the desert. It's in the middle of the Mojave Desert is where
Yeah.
they're at. Just driving. I don't know where her destination.
No, she was just going. Just
she was
going.
on the phone with somebody, but you couldn't tell what they were talking about.
Right.
So it was like...
So he finds her, and he's like...
He runs her down.
"Ah, gonna get you. Gonna get you." Like, he's not doing a good job of stalking her at all. He's just like, I am now chasing you down. But now, then he gets
He
chased
pulls
down.
up. No, he pulls up next to her, and she's like, "Fuck off, buddy,"
Right.
and speeds up. And then all of a sudden, a couple of minions show up.
Right. There's minions out there
On pony bikes.
on pony bikes, chasing them down.
And then they've got axes, and one of them has
and
a
maces
and,
or
Morning Star.
Morningstar. And he starts whacking him with the not sharp side.
There is actually during that whole sequence, the costumes get a little bit more medieval.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of guys that have these crosses on their chest, like they're
Templars.
Yeah, Templars or something, and they've got like battle helmets and that. Whereas most of the time they just look like Mad Max guys. During that sequence,
Well, it's not safe to ride a motorcycle without a helmet.
I guess that's true.
And probably body armor, chainmail, things of that nature.
You wouldn't want to fall on your axe.
Oh boy!
Yes! Worst bad joke so far.
You know what? You never like. I'm happy for you because those opportunities are so few and far between that you actually get to say things like that. And you opportunity knocked and you answered. The doorbell rang and you opened that right up.
I was trying to come up with a tie into Morningstar and balls.
Oh.
I couldn't come up with anything. Like, I was going down the whole Morningwood thing, but that didn't
No.
work. So to escape, she does the classic drive under the semi move.
Well, that wasn't for escaping. That was when she realized that he was being chased, so she was going to help
Save the pansy man.
by hiding under the semi.
Right.
So
I
they
did
never
not
didn't
get
see it
that at
coming.
all.
I
I'm
thought-
like,
I
why
thought
didn't
she
you
was
just, like,
stitching him.
flip a J-turn and go shoot those people in the face?
Yeah, she should have.
Well, that was the element of surprise.
Oh my god, that was so gay.
I like how she was driving and holding the gun. Like, she wasn't going to be able to shoot anything with how wobbly that thing was. Oh, Jesus.
And I like when they showed the things of her feet. It's not a stick shift car, so why you have your foot on the brake and the gas at the same time?
Because she had to perfectly keep balance
it in
between the semi so it didn't get
so
smushed.
she didn't get smushed.
It was. I thought it was stupid.
I thought that was a classic maneuver. All of Fast and Furious. Those guys totally knocked that shit off.
Actually, I think that when was no, the Griswold Family Christmas is after this. They do that. They do the same thing in National
old routine.
Anthem's
Old
Christmas
routine.
Vacation.
Yeah.
The one motorcycle guy does get run over by the
He
back
does.
wheels of the semi, and that was pretty
awesome.
good.
I thought that was
That
fun.
looked pretty good.
Yeah.
And the
other guy just
semi
gets sort of shot.
didn't stop.
No, he doesn't care. There's guys riding
So
alongside.
it showed him drinking,
Yeah, he's drunk.
He's drunk.
so that you would infer that this guy's going.
Listening to Dolly Parton and
He's getting it there on time, and that's all we need to know.
Any little lot lizards out there? Come on back. Over. Not saying I'm homosexual, but I like the way you handle your rig. Come on back over. Doing one of those numbers, you know.
You seem to know a lot about this trucking homosexuality.
I've seen a lot of trucker movies.
Uh-huh. What do you really do when I leave town?
Watch trucker movies.
You and Sam have a secret truck that
I
you
don't
keep
watch
over
the
at
trucker
Sam's
movies
house.
with him. I think these are the trucker movies that are rated X.
Oh, speaking of sweet
Truck
trucks,
to butthole down.
I have to tell the listeners about
Long
this one
hauling.
thing that I saw this weekend. So I'm out shopping, and there's this guy in a huge Ford truck.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of a hood ornament on the top of it, there is a plastic elk. Like that you would buy for your kid from like a dollar store.
Mm-hmm.
Like glued onto the top of this thing.
Like as the hood ornament.
Yeah, as the hood ornament.
Mhm.
And then you look at the driver, right? Like your eyes automatically go to what the fuck to
Who's
the
this
driver.
dickhead?
Like who's this dickhead? And then over to the side mirror that has some kind of large bird on it. That is glued onto the mirror. The driver's side mirror.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not little. It was like as big as my hand. Like as big as a human hand bird on this mirror. Like just on the top of it, like you glued that one on too.
Did you happen to get a look at the driver, and did he look like Sylvester Stallone?
I couldn't really tell.
Could it
He
have
had-
been Lincoln Hawk?
It could have been Lincoln Hawk because he had the trucker looking
Oh, sure,
hat,
sure.
and then he had the aviator
Flip
sunglasses
up,
on.
flip up. Jubbers.
Yeah,
Nice.
it could have been him. I'm just
Classic.
saying. I
That
wanted
is
to throw
classic.
that in there because I think that everybody should know about this truck and be on the lookout for it.
Well, I was excited because I like truckers. So trucker showed up, and I was
But
like,
it's not a trucker.
Trucker.
It's a Ford truck.
No, I'm talking about in this movie.
It's probably your grandpa, Jesse.
We are doing a podcast about movies. Not truckers. Well, sort of truckers.
Well, either way, she kills both of the bad guys on motorcycles, and then they both power slide to stop. Mm-hmm. The trucker commences trucking. We don't see him
trucking, buddy.
We don't see him ever again.
You got to keep on keeping on.
And then
you got a hard road ahead of you.
Yeah.
With a bunch of stuff in the back, and you got to get there on time.
Well, honestly, he was almost out of booze, so he's probably just trying to get to the next fucking truck stop. So
he was
or an arm wrestling tournament.
He probably has just a box
of
of
tequila.
pints next to him, riding shotgun.
I'd like to give you a lift, but then I'd have to move my booze.
Yeah, there's only one place to sit up here, little lady. Right here. right here.
Well, why don't you pass me another pint?
Don't move around too much. I'm trying to drink. Look at him. He does love truckers.
He does.
He can't get enough of it right now. He's like out of the. I will be removed from the podcast for 3 minutes because I've heard the laugh about
there's
truckers.
so many stinking jokes that can become from trucking. It's just so silly.
But the sad part is we've been going on this trucker kick now for a while. This scene was like literally 5 seconds.
Yeah,
it wasn't that
long.
long.
The guy drinking and then
he's out of the movie.
Yeah, then he's out of the movie.
Tales to be told.
The rest of the just assuming what happened with the rest of this guy's life.
He ran a run-in with Rumpelstiltskin and see, all these movies that I love have some element of trucking in it.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
But either they slide stop and then they have an argument that doesn't make any sense, and then she's like, "Get in." And then he just leaves Cliff's bike there.
Cliff fucking see it.
Because he goes, "Hey, my bike." And she's like, "Fuck it, you won't need it," and just drives off. Like, okay, I'm sure your buddy is going to really appreciate that. Where'd you leave it? I don't know. Some fucking desert road.
That was like an afterthought that, like, it's obviously additional recording where, hey, my bike, because you don't see them. And you just see the back of the car. Just like, you don't need it. And like, he got into the car and was like, wait, I can't ride my bike if I'm in here.
Way to go, thought process.
Yeah.
So
they leave that bike.
Right, they leave that bike. But then I kind of get a little lost on what happened because I was having such a good time. They get kidnapped.
The rest of them show up in force.
Down the road.
The minions.
They'd use the spike strip.
Oh, that's right. They spike stripped the Corvette. Which doesn't get wrecked. I totally thought the Corvette was going to explode. Doesn't. Spoiler alert.
You can't tip those.
No, I figured like they do something with like the piston that pops them up in the air. You know, that stunt piston that you drive over.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying is that there's a lot of cars, because I know a guy that was a stunt coordinator for a long time, and he's actually a producer now, but there's certain cars that you can turn, and there's certain cars that you can't, and anything with T-tops, any of the Corvettes, any Corvette that was ever made has such a soft, it's a box underneath frame. One of the main reasons that those C4s were so slow, you can't turn those.
You can't tip them over.
With a driver in them, you will kill a guy if you try to turn one of those.
The stunt man.
You can
real life.
You can send one off of a cliff. You can do all sorts of things, but you can't turn one of those cars with somebody in it.
Gotcha. They will be deed.
So you don't see a lot of Corvettes in accidents in movies because of, one, if you turn it, the guy will be dead, and two, sometimes they can turn anyway, even though they are kind of low and wide. You can hit them just right, and they'll still turn anyway.
Tires catch, and then you're screwed.
Yeah.
So, either way, they stop them with the spike strip.
Kidnap them. They get Vadney with the classic net.
Right. Oh
my God, that was awesome.
Yeah, nets. We should do a science experiment. Go out to a field, somebody brings a net, and we all run as fast as we can and try to take somebody down with a net.
There was a movie I just watched where they tried to use a net on somebody, and it was
ugh,
they kept running with the net on them until they got the net off, and then they kept running again, and it was like, nets, they don't work.
No.
The net is always up at the guy's head, and it's see-through, so vision's not a problem. It's not wrapped around your legs, that's not a problem.
When you see the net work effectively for the narrative of the film, it's generally the actor that becomes ensnared has to ensnare themselves in the net.
Right,
They the net pushing on it, ah!
Like they have to wrap themselves up with it and then fall down.
Yeah, it's pretty silly. Well, she goes down. he gets taken down as well. Because doesn't he get kidnapped?
Yeah, they don't.
No, he just wakes
Oh,
up
yeah.
in his house.
That's right, because he's a pussy and can't fight. They probably just were like, you want to fight? And he's like, no, just take me someplace.
Well, they picked him up and carried him out of the shot, and then you see her get netted, and then he wakes
tossed
up.
in an incinerator.
The next shot is him waking up, laying as a snow angel in the middle of his
He's
entry
starfishing it.
room. Yeah, he's just starfishing it in the middle of the entry room in his clothes.
They didn't even try to rape him.
Not at all.
Not at all.
They didn't try to rape Vanity either. They
Yes,
took
they
took some of her clothes
Later
off.
on, they tried to.
Right, but they just stuffed her in an incinerator first.
Yes.
With an intercom.
But
Yeah.
Well,
you gotta know what's going on in there.
Is anybody in there that we're about to burn up? Yes. Okay, go ahead and light the fuse.
Yeah, this is the Brainscombe Richmond scene, is him waking up on the floor and then getting the hell beat out of him by minions.
Right.
Just beating him up until he sees the family pennant of the Stargroves.
I swear to God that gave him power.
I think just notice him going, I am a Stargrove.
Oh, I can be a badass.
And I know gymnastics, and I've seen Gymkata.
This should work.
Because it happened 2 years before this movie.
And I've
Maybe
seen
it didn't.
Jim
Maybe it happened the same year.
So he kicks the crap out of those guys, tosses them both out the window.
And then does the
But
line,
not before he gets the information about the incinerator.
Yeah, where Vanity is.
Right.
And then he tosses Brainscombe Wilson Richmond out the door, and then grabs the shotgun and starts shooting at him as they drive off. And then they're gone for a long time. And there's nobody there. They've driven off. They're probably a half mile away from the house at this point. And he's just standing there in the broken window, and he's like, Stargrove! Lance Stargrove! And then he shoots the shotgun again, and it cuts.
Oh my god.
Awesome. John Stamos is an action hero.
No.
And he does lots of dandy maneuvers when he's fighting him, like flipping over the tobacco.
Well, he's a little guy.
Yeah. He's just a little guy. I can get in there.
So he goes and busts her out.
Yeah. Then that's when Cliff shows up.
Right, Cliff shows up with his
I don't know.
Future Man outfit. His best attempt at Future Man outfit.
It's like a windbreaker and some ski pants and a helmet.
Yeah. But he's got the chip on the side of the bike. Now, the new bike. The third bike.
Yeah, he comes in and you're like, wonder what...
Or not the chip, the disc.
The disc is in the bike.
I'm from the future, sorry. We don't have discs anymore.
Yeah, Cliff shows up with the power of plot convenience, is like,
And
by the way...
so listeners know, when you're watching it and you see the disc for the first time, no, it is not a CD disc.
It's a diskette.
It is a diskette, a 3.5 diskette. Hard. No, it's still floppy. I was always confused by that. Why is one floppy?
One was
hard,
actually
but they're both
floppy.
called floppies.
I think people just wanted to call them floppy because they were a diskette.
Right, diskette.
Yeah, they were diskette.
Yeah. So his dad apparently mailed the diskette, a la
with some food.
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
And see, I thought that he mailed a credit card too, because that was like, that's what happens is you see Cliff shows
Here's a
up,
diskette and a credit card just
and
in
he's
case.
like, oh, your dad mailed me the disc. I bought this on your credit card, my new bike, and I've already turned it into a super science bike.
Yeah.
Even though you never see any super science done by that bike.
No, none at all. So they get Vanity, and then Cliff takes off. I don't know where Cliff goes after that.
We do get to see the Flazer work and not work.
Sort of. It didn't work the first time.
And then it works.
And then it doesn't work. And then it works again.
And it's basically a Roman candle that blows the fuck out of things. When it works.
When it works.
If not, it just kind of poops out a
Roman candle. Like the normal Roman candle.
Yeah, like 1 out of 6
the ones that don't
work.
blow up, they're just like...
And then you put them in your hand and then they blow up. So they go back to the house, and my whole favorite scene of the whole movie was the sexual frustration scene. I thought it was just dynamite.
Well, they go back to, when they get her, they go back to the guy who's not actually the lawyer. He's the head of some unnamed security organization. Right. Him and, of course, Cosgrove, or Carruthers. Mm-hmm. You've got me calling him Cosgrover now. And then they discuss bullshit, and then they go back to what is the silliest sex scene I've ever seen in my damn life.
Which is weird, because at first, he's like Action Jackson a little bit. Like, he's getting in there, getting some tonguings, and then he just kind of like...
watch that again. Third time around, It is the worst movie kiss I've ever seen. So she
The
comes
first one?
in, when they first kiss, she comes in mouth open and tongue out, and he just kind of is going... like he's a fish, a goldfish eating.
Oh
like
my
he's
God.
just like mouth that's only about a quarter inch open. So he's like trying to put both of his lips inside of her mouth and go... while she's licking, she's doing like a licking motion, and I'm like, whoa!
That's so not right.
Maybe that's why it was the sexual frustration scene. It's his first time. He's never even
right.
kissed a girl.
It seemed like she didn't know what she was doing either.
She's like, I usually don't get to fourth base. And he's like, what?
Is this fourth base?
Nobody gets to fourth base. It's no fourth base. It's a home run.
That's why it was.
Well, yeah, you said, ergo the comedy.
Yeah, there you go. Because usually she starts on the blowjobs and works her way up. So she's like, home run when
for
she gets to the
vanity.
lips. Fourth base.
Well, either way, he's now like, I can't go through with this. I don't know why.
Because he's 16.
Because he's 16, apparently. And so she decides to put on the sexy time.
I don't think I think she was wearing the same because she comes out wearing the same shit.
No, I'm saying, I'm not saying her clothes.
yeah.
I'm saying it's...
He
put
decides
on the
to put on the
sexy
sexy time because he's like, way to go, doofus, to himself. And then goes...
she's
into
out
the
there
groove.
taking her clothes off.
Well, before
and
that, he goes and...
lotioning and oiling and oiling and lotioning and...
Oh, no, before that, though, he's like, oh, I really blew it. And then he goes and he changes his clothes.
Right, to just another doofy outfit.
The only thing that scene
He
was
keeps the
missing for
pants
me
on.
was a trapper keeper.
Yeah.
You know, so he could like come out and just put the trapper keeper in front of his pants. Like,
Yeah.
oh!
I like that while she was doing things, he started, like, he acted like that cartoon werewolf, or
Yeah.
the cartoon wolf in the old Warner Brothers movies, with the steam coming out of his ears and going, ow, 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 and his legs bouncing up and down, he's chewing on his fingernails, and, you know, eyeballs pop out. Great. It's classic.
Yeah.
I like that she's wearing, like, her outfit at first, like, white shorts and this, God knows what kind of, it's like something you
the
only
burlap
wear in-
stuff that they cut
It's like
holes
only
in.
only something that someone will wear in California, and then she takes that off and she's got on this, like...
Pocahontas.
Sheena Queen of the Jungle Lady outfit.
Pocahontas is the best way to just, like, if Pocahontas had, like, a swimwear calendar, that would be the shit that she would be wearing.
Yep. With
True.
fringe, baby.
Tassels and leather-like looking material. Yeah, that was fun. And that was like a 10-minute scene, too, of him just going, yo, 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 yo,
Getting
yo.
the Perrier.
Yeah,
Getting an apple. And then getting another apple.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this other apple's really gonna help me.
Yeah, when she gets the boobs out, he's got another apple. Oh, boy. Meanwhile, the guys up on the hill are getting a free show.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Like, you see them, they got the binoculars, and then this sex scene happens. Or her doing the sexy time. And so they're getting free show. Well, Cliff's up there with them.
Yeah, but he's not paying attention.
No, he's more concerned about the bike.
Because, yeah, one of the guys is like, there's a crack in your crankcase. And I'm going to get that looked at. And he's like, oh, it's so highly technical for you.
I'll go look at it myself.
I'm wearing a flannel. I look like a logger in
Oh,
Dockers.
Yeah.
He totally looked like a logger in those weird boots and stuff. And
Except
it's
for
like,
he's got Dockers on. Like, what? Like the pleated ones. It didn't even make sense.
So,
but he had suspenders and everything. Right?
Yeah,
It's
it's...
like partial pole by
so they bone
yeah, they did. They
for
did.
a while. Kind of an extended.
It pans up to the window.
Of course.
And then there's a dissolve, and we've cut ahead. I imagine it,
Later.
because of that first kiss, I imagine that to be 1.5 minutes from now.
From the start of the first kiss?
No, from when they start having sex. I think he MacGruber's her.
You think he goes a whole minute and a half?
I don't know if
I
he
bet
goes...
you that was about 22 seconds.
Sure.
She was left unfulfilled. Either way,
He, like, just
unfulfilled.
kind of, like, after he kisses her a couple times, lays on his back, and he's just got a big wet spot on his pants. And she's like, it's okay, we can try again in 10 minutes. And he's like, 3
happens
minutes,
so
I'll be ready
long.
again in 3 minutes.
It's not the first time. That this
Go
has
get the
happened.
hose. Do that dance again with the water.
So, Von Ragnar shows up. Well, he doesn't.
No, they...
Carruthers
shows
in the
up.
helicopter shows up and escorts them someplace, but they've got doubles. They've got Stamos and Vanity doubles to pull the old classic switcheroo with. But they're like, okay, we'll follow you. Why do you need these doubles? Well, I won't ask any questions. We'll just get into the helicopter.
No, they were getting gun pointed at. They were at
I didn't see the
gunpoint.
guns.
In
No.
the helicopter, they were at gunpoint.
Because they didn't even care until she was on the helicopter and was like, Carruthers! And he's like, and pulls off all his makeup, and it's Gene Simmons.
Yeah. Carruthers is Ragnar.
She didn't know that.
She did not know that. But they were still at gunpoint.
No, they weren't. They got into the plane because they were
look
like...
pretty like...
They're in the helicopter, and there's an M16 pointing at her head. And then she says, while the M16 is pointing at her head, she's like, why did you do it, Carruthers?
Well, I think that was after he took the mask off.
No.
No, because then he takes it
That's
off.
prompting him
Anybody
to take
would
the
like
mask
to
off.
argue about this, please visit our message boards at sneakermadness.com and tell Sam he is a giant douche.
Either way.
So they pull
Ragnar
the
is
switcheroo
Carruthers.
and take them back to his castle dungeon thingy dingy.
I think that's like the water treatment facility, and the dam itself is like up
that's what I see,
the
but it kind of
road.
looked a little devastated. It had a devastated look to it.
And the dam is up the road or something like that.
Well, there's some witty banter and some, I'll tell you my plan and I'm going to get away with it. No, you're not, because I'm cool and you're a douche. And then the one guy, Ragnar's like, aha, we fooled you. You don't have the disc. We've got it. Go get it. And the guy's not even there yet on the motorcycle. Like, the guy just starts walking up and then perfectly shows up at the right time. Aha, here's the disc.
See, I think he's the one stupid pineapple head guy.
Pineapple head guy.
He stole the thing. So I think that the other guy
He's like Wilson.
is just waiting, just like kind of back there, like they'll give me the signal and I'll write it out. It's sort of that adds to the pageantry of it.
Huh. Make an entrance, huh?
Yeah.
So they've got the diskette, and it's time to now throw a party. So they start partying again. Woohoo! And there's a shot of a guy totally wiping out on a four-wheeler. Like, he just comes in hot. It's the stairs. Goes flying over the handlebars.
And I was like, we had to leave that in.
Yeah, and it's
Brian
not talked
fucked
about.
that up in a major way.
Gene Simmons is like, just continues on with his speech.
Yeah.
Like, nothing that didn't even happen. Like, just, hey, we got to put this in the movie someplace. Put this in here. That was great. Then Simmons comes down the stairs and starts torturing them some more.
Well, he tortures him, and then he reveals that they have the disc.
Right, has the disc, and then he gives Vanity the long tongue cram. That was the second time that the tongue comes out. So now she has been assaulted sexually by Gene Simmons, Lady
Which
Man,
maybe
Gene Simmons.
that's what happened in, like, that scene was shot before the love scene with her and Stamos. And she's like, well, that's how you do it. And so she's trying to do it to Stamos, and he's like, what's going on here? You do it like this.
It's like, didn't you go to Theater 101?
I am pretty sure Vanity has kissed a lot of dudes.
Yeah, well.
She's pretty experienced.
Yeah.
Stamos, I'm not so sure. I like Stargrove's compassionate outlook on bad guys as they're bringing them in.
Oh, that was great. It's not their fault.
Don't blame
They're
them.
victims of tough society.
Oh my god. It was so gay.
That was awesome.
And then,
I don't know where that line came from at all. The
either way,
dialogue in this movie is so silly.
after the Simmons gets the disc, then Stamos, as a means of escape, challenges Pineapple Head to a fight. And then doesn't fight him.
No, he just
uses his
takes a
gymnastics
gun.
to kick a gun out of a guy's hand and then just
And
shoots
then blows
everybody.
the hell out of everybody. Like,
And that was like the
strength
signal.
in numbers, huh, buddy?
'Cause that's when the fucking National Guard shows up, too.
Mm-hmm. In the helicopter.
In the
with
same
turret.
helicopter
Yeah.
that
same
they
line.
showed up
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Hey man, this is a low budget film.
Pretty low. Pretty low. But then,
That's part of the plot is that Gene Simmons' character is like, so take that helicopter back. They're going to need that to attack us later.
So Van Ragnar runs off to the dam. He's got the bomb, or he's got the computer, the nuclear football,
The nuclear football, yeah.
and the diskette, and he's ready to go.
Right, but he has to get within range.
Has to get. Oh, he jumps in a fucking truck, semi-truck.
Trucking. Yeah, I think that's actually
Trucking.
one of my favorite
Trucking.
parts of the movie is him just driving the truck going, oh, yeah, nude. Trucking.
Just you and me's talking to the bomb. You and me, Bommy. We're gonna make it. So he gets to the dam. They have a fight. It's not a good fight.
It isn't a good fight,
No.
and that
I didn't like...
the upper hand is gained by Stamos by biting his boob.
Right. And then I didn't like that Van Ragnar turned into a total weenus for, like,
Well, it was deceptive weenus.
It was...
Because he's all, I am a woman, I am a man!
Yeah, like...
Yeah.
He stabs him with his fucking finger.
The finger.
The finger.
The finger!
Not the finger.
Uh...
And what's the finger gonna do, really? It was like...
It wasn't
Well,
pleasant.
No, you would bleed from it. I don't know if you would bleed to death.
Well, if it was, like, if you got the artery just right.
It's pretty hard to hit those with a small object.
I imagine
Stamos
if
did.
you are a hermaphrodite, lounge singer, terrorist, secret agent, master of disguise, that you might be able to hit the arteries with it.
You're known for your fingering.
Finger bang bang.
That, and the keyboardist for Chicago was also known for his fingering. Different, though.
Different type
on
of
the
fingering.
keys.
Well, Stamos gets tossed off the bridge.
A couple of times.
Movie ends, and that's fun. No, he doesn't just get tossed off the bridge. He grabs onto the side rail.
He gets
He's
tossed off
okay.
I think he gets tossed off the bridge 3 fucking times.
Yeah, he gets tossed off a lot. Well, yeah, he wrecks the motorcycle off the side of the bridge, dangling off the side of the bridge. Then Gene Simmons tosses him over the bridge.
And he gets back, and then he gets one more time
Back off the bridge.
off the side of the bridge.
Yeah. Well, then...
Then he tells Gene Simmons that he's beautiful.
He's beautiful. Gene Simmons leans in for a little smoochy smoo, little goldfish kissing. About to give him the tongue. Oh no! Gene Simmons gets fingered!
With his own finger.
Fingers himself.
Right in the neck.
Right in the neck, and then gets tossed off the bridge. The dam.
With the leg toss thing.
Oh yeah, the classic Batman move. You pull your legs up, grab a guy by his neck, and then pull back down.
Yep.
Classic maneuver. But the stupidest fucking thing in the movie is yet to happen. The bomb. He's got to dispose of the bomb.
Oh yeah, meanwhile there's only 30 seconds left until the laptop blows up, causes the
Poison
contamination of
Poison
the water,
right?
poison water.
Toxic wastewater, which doesn't, I don't know how.
Yeah,
Where, but...
it's...
So, in order to dispose of the bomb, he hucks the bomb and the flazer.
Because, what Vanity shows up in the
Vanity shows up
helicopter
in the
and
chopper.
throws him the flazer, but he doesn't do a good job catching it, and it's like broken and it's steaming.
Yeah, he can't use it now. So he just tosses them both in the air blindly, just behind his back. Whoa! And they end up hitting each other and exploding. Saved the day.
Saved the day.
Then him and Vanity ride off in the sunset in a dune buggy.
With the roommate.
Oh, Cliff was in the car too?
Cliff was driving.
Cliff was driving? Oh, that's why Stamos was standing up at the end. I didn't catch that. Off into the sunset to live the rest of their happy lives until...
No, I think I
Until divorce
assume
court.
that, like, when he's like, oh, this is not for me, and they, like, do a couple laps and come back and he's like, get in, that not only is he letting her in, but you can't let her in and not be a secret agent. So they're going to secret
so he's
agent out.
continuing
Yeah.
on his own.
On
Maybe he
to-
becomes like
on
the
to
A-team.
adventure!
Maybe it's not like he's a
Maybe
government-sanctioned...
D team.
Yeah.
The D team.
Yeah.
Everybody else was busy, sir.
Oh,
All right,
we have
glass
to
him-
call Stargrove.
Get him out of the lunchroom and
No.
tell him he can peel potatoes later or make that lasagna later.
Clean the latrines for the NSA, per se.
Just blow up some crap that's already been blown up.
Well,
I don't have any bullshit assignments for Stargrove. God damn it.
I liked it.
Oh yeah, it's honorable mention for me.
I
It's
had a
not in
really
my
good
top
time.
10, but it's up there.
I had a really good time with it. I am very surprised I had never heard of it before, and that I'd never seen it before. Because if you take the few F words out of it and the boobs, it would have been like one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason why. I kind of think that they could have released that in the theaters to market it towards children with sans boobs and a couple F-bombs and probably made a successful movie. That's just my thought.
I liked it. I thought Gene Simmons was entertaining. I was willing to sit through the rest of the
Gene Simmons
bullshit.
absolutely stole the show, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I was willing to sit through the rest of the bullshit just to see what Gene Simmons would do next. His character was very good.
He was owning it. Literally.
Which is good because I thought he was fairly not good in Runaway.
Yeah, no, he's
Which was
not
the
good in
previous
Runaway.
film
He's not good in Runaway.
that he was in.
I didn't like him as a bad guy at all. Like, I just thought he looked stupid in Runaway. I'm like, this guy's meh. I'm not frightened by him. He more looks like a used car salesman. Like, he after he blows up everybody with his killer robots, he should get into a sweet 300Z and drive off while
Or
smoking
something.
cigarettes and in his car, and to like go down to the roller rink and try to hit on some high school girls afterwards in his T-top 300Z. That's what I thought of him in Runaway. Just didn't buy it. But this he was obviously batshit fucking crazy. He was great. Maybe too good, as you say.
Too good.
But it's never too young to be too good. So we recommend it. Go ahead and watch it. Favorite scene? Close this out, Sam. Okay, Jackie.
Gene Simmons in the Linda Carter outfit singing his weird song.
No, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think I'm going to go with the sexual frustration scene. Just because I'd never seen anything like that in a semi-serious action movie before. Like, the hero is totally inept when it comes to the dames.
I think it's Stargrove. Lance Stargrove. Who are you talking to, bud?
Yeah, nobody's here, man.
Yeah, those guys drove off like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. There's not even a window there for you to shoot anymore. You already broke that.
Well, Jackie's pick next time. You got you're thinking about
Flash! Ah! Savior of the universe! Dun, dun, dun. Yes, that's right. It's gonna be Flash Gordon.
Get him to the chopper!
Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter at Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening, and get to the chopper.